Hey, what's up? Scott Balk. I'm here with Imagination Creation Films. And it's been a while. It really has. And I'm not sure today's going to be any better, but we'll try. It's a little windy out. It's, uh, it's a nice day out here. I am back home in Texas. However, I'm not back home. I'm actually out because I have to shoot two things tomorrow. And then I come back on Monday. Then I'm home, and then I have a bunch of stuff I have to do. But that's good though. I mean, I love getting paid. It's so good. It's not even overrated. It's perfect. It's everything you hoped it can be. How are y'all? I have not talked to y'all in a while, and I wanted to get I actually wanted to live stream yesterday, but I was so tired from my drive. I said, forget it, and I'll do it this, and then I'll probably do a proper live stream, probably on Monday. Just with the whole studio and getting everything back in order, and got lots of stuff planned, lots of stuff. But how is everyone? How are a lot of people joining? Hey, good to see you. I hope you can hear me actually with the wind. Y'all let me know if you can hear me or not. If you can, I'll just go. I don't know how to do sign language. My kids do. They can teach me. I just, So yeah, it's been a while. I was just got back from Yosemite. That was amazing. There, it was. It's wild. That place really got obliterated by, I guess, a winter storm. They had like there's the whole campground's down in the valley. Uh, like I would say 60% of the trees had fallen over, and these are giant trees. They are 2 feet in diameter, and they had fallen on top of bathrooms and campsites. They had to go in and chop them all down. There's like so much fire and devastation in the area. It is sad to see, but I mean, that's kind of nature. You got to let it do its thing. We had a really good day when we first got there. Then the next day was like really cold and windy and rainy and still in California time. And then as we were leaving, we just went up to Tunnel View, and I mean to tell you, it was on fire. It was amazing. There was like low-lying fog cruising through the valley. The sun was trying to peek through the cloud. It was cool. I got some really nice red time lapses on that one. Really looking forward to cutting those up and putting them together. Yeah. Hey, how's it going? Hi. How's life? Am I not seeing? Hopefully, I'm seeing. Say top chat. I don't want top chat. Let's see what I can do here. I'll change that to welcome to live chat. Thank you. Super chat. Yeah, I like super chat. If anybody wants to give me super chat, feel free. Okay, yeah. Cool. So say hello. There's many of you. I'm here to answer questions. If anybody has questions, or just give my opinion. NAB. I'm gonna do a proper NAB video, probably Monday or Tuesday. Just going through everything that I saw and the gear. There were not that many major announcements, which is kind of the way NAB is shaping up. That companies are more interested in releasing their products the moment they have them ready, rather than waiting for some big event where they get 12 seconds of fame and then somebody else announces 12 seconds later. I think that kind of started I think 3 years ago or so. That I know Red pulled out, and then lots of other companies started pulling out at that point. So it definitely had an effect. Can y'all hear me? Is the wind getting crazy? I mean, it's just like blowing like crazy right now. I don't even know if all you hear is. Um, yeah, so let's see. NAB, like Blackmagic did not have a camera that I was told they were going to have. My guess is it's not even close to ready. Arri did not have their new Super 35 camera, which I wasn't quite expecting it this go around. They did have the Mini LF, which is actually just a stopgap. Sony did not bring their FS8. They didn't really release hardly anything either. Canon, I don't even know why Canon shows up anymore. I mean, they released a couple of their new lens set, which is just a slightly tweaked version of their existing lenses. They're full frame, and they have character coatings, as they're calling them. But yeah, I wasn't too impressed. Fujinon had some full frame versions of their zooms. Let's see, there were a couple of new lenses. I can't quite remember the name of them that were there. They looked interesting. There were Takina had their new Vista Ones, which they're like the Vista Primes that I shot with, but they have fewer coatings on there. Those actually are quite beautiful. They're still the big lenses like Vista Primes, but they just have a lot more character. They flare and bloom, and I mean it's really nice. We took those out. I think it was Wednesday night at NAB and kind of shot around Vegas. It's the only set of lenses in existence right now, and I hear that they completely sold out the pre-orders. So I mean that's really good. I'll have a video on that coming out. Tim Doust and Curtis Boggs and I all went out and shot on Monstro with those, and we got some really nice shots. But I'll have a video for that like next week. Also got to shoot on the new Atlas Orion 25mm anamorphic, which it's so wide, it's hilarious. I don't know what the field of view is, but it's probably like 140 degrees. It is really wild. I was on like was on a patio porch, whatever, 60 floors up, and I started left and I panned right, but I only had to start like here, and I just went like that, and I had the whole thing. It was pretty wild. That's a really neat lens. It'll be interesting when it comes out. It was the only one, and it actually had just been delivered the day before NAV. It was just finished being built. Let's see. I wanted to go talk to Pond 5, but they decided they weren't going to be there. I wanted to talk to them about their horrible stock footage support. Yeah, I'm going to be moving to another option here shortly. Let's see, what else did I see? Didn't see a lot of bags. There was kind of the regular bag manufacturers were there. Tilta really screwing themselves over. I think you're going to find that Tilta is going to disappear, and quite frankly, they should. They have stolen so many ideas over the years, and they ticked off the wrong person this year for flat out stealing, and then denying, and then apologizing that they never meant to show it. But you built it. I don't understand that. Why you would apologize? Oh, it was never meant to be shown, but you still built it, which means you stole it. And apparently they had built 50 of them. So yeah, Tilta's done that to numerous people. A lot of the Chinese companies tend to do that. They don't really care. I remember when Ben Rowe did that to Kessler Crane with their pocket jib Traveler. They did it to Bright Tangerine with their Misfit Atom. It's just, yeah, not a good company. Not, not a good process when the Chinese don't seem to care about, intellectual property. Let's see. Really? Everybody's joined in here, but I got no chat whatsoever. No one wants to say hi. Am I missing something? Surely I'm not missing. Whoa. Let's see. No one wants to say hi? Not one person? I got a thumbs up, but no one wants to say hi? Come on, say hi. Say hi. Someone say hi. Someone say hi. I can't even. No. Everyone connects and then disconnect. All right, fine. Don't say hi. Don't say hi at all. What's this? Ooh. Wow, I can apply. Ooh, wow. Oh, it's like LUTs. Ooh. Everyone loves LUT. Oh, yeah. Ooh. Yeah, what a total waste. Oh, bubbles. Okay. Let's go back to normal. So, what else I see in AB? 8K is going to start hitting. I'm guessing 8K next year is going to be a really big thing. Aperture had some cool stuff. I'm going to do a video on them next week. They did have that RGBW panel. They're trying to price it at $1,500. It is really bright. It is brighter than an S30. Really nice. They also have these light bulbs, just like a standard Edison light bulb, but they're RGBW or RGB. They're controlled with an app. They charge from the light bulb, the socket, but they have a battery in them so they can run for like 45 minutes, I think. That could be a whole lot of fun. Just sit back with the app. Electric comes on and they turn off the light. You just go, bing, turn it back on. They're like, what the hell? They turn it off, you turn it off. Then they go and they unplug the power and you go, bing, turn it back on. That'd be a lot of fun on set. You'd be so popular on set because you're just messing with the electrics. I mean, they're not going to mess with you. So those are cool. Those are RGB lights, and they're really cheap. I think they're going to be, like $57. That's what they're going to be priced at. And then they have 59, I think. They have like the little M9, that little bitty puck light, I call it. They now have that in RGB. They're 79, and they're also controlled with the app. But they charge like a cell phone. You just set it down on the charger, and it does the wireless charging. So they sell it like a briefcase with 12 of them. You put them all the puck lights in there, and they just charge away. Kind of cool. They also have their new 300D Mark II, which is 20% brighter. Thanks, Ted. It's really bright, and all of the electronics are in one box now, and it's wirelessly controlled with the app again. So it's pretty cool. What else do they have? Oh, they have a it's like a China ball for it that has a full wraparound shade. It actually, you just push it down and it expands out, and you can push it back and it collapses back down super fast. $99. I'm gonna have several of those because that is something I need. And it's not very big. It's only, I don't know, 18 inches maybe. Really cool. Very well designed. Good on aperture. Let's see here. Hive Lighting has their new 25, which is like the 100, but I mean, it's only this deep and it's cheap. They also had a 575. It's a big boy, really bright. It's a one-off right now. Excuse me. They wouldn't turn it up all the way because they're still tweaking the heat dissipation on it. They didn't want to break anything. They're not really sure what would break first. They don't want to break it while they're there, so they had it shown, and it was bright. 575, pretty cool. Aperture, Quasar had their cool RGB tubes. They had a nice case. They also have barn doors now for the crossfades and Q ions. That's really nice. So yeah, there was a lot of stuff. It was a pretty cool trip. And then from there we went off to Yosemite and then back down. It was Joshua Tree. I did Joshua Tree, and then we were going to go up to Big Sur, but we couldn't get to Big Sur in time, so we went to just Yosemite. And yeah. Anybody got any questions or anything I can answer? I'm just sitting here. I've got nothing else to do. Just kind of waiting. Waiting is the hardest part. Come on, fire off a question. Somebody's got a question. Fire off a super chat. Why not? Support me. Put some fuel in my gas tank. Oh, put some diesel in my fuel tank. Let's do it that way. All right then. Well, this has been the least. I swear something's wrong here. Why? Orientation is locked. Well, I know this. But why? There's no chat at all. I didn't disable chat, did I? Surely I allowed chat. Top chat, live chat. Hey, Tyler, there we go. Cool stuff from what I saw. Oh, wow. That's weird. Oh, hey, Tyler. So there was chat. I would love shooting something with the Orions. Skip the ad. Is this streaming 5K? 300D2 with those add-ons is pretty awesome. There we go. I don't know why it wasn't showing me that. Well, now I feel like there's more people involved. Yay for us. Aperture is they're really killing it as far as their goal is to put stuff in the hands of filmmakers, budget filmmakers, and they're doing a really good job. I'm telling you, that RGBW panel is super bright. It is really, really bright. Wow, I'm so much happier now. Hey, Jamie. How's it going? Let's see here. I don't even know what time it is. What time is it? Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. Remember, live chat. I just don't understand why it wouldn't. None of these chats showed up. So weird. So Jamie, did you enjoy your well, you had like, I would say about 5 seconds of fame there, buddy. I had footage playing in 2 booths this year. Need to check out the video on it. Yeah, they're still not letting you take it, but they're hoping it'll be available in June-ish time frame. So they're getting really, really close. I'd say it's about 6 to 8 inches deep, but it's a little over 1x1. I have not played with the FMV RGB panel. It's a little over 1x1, and it's app controlled. I mean, it was just exceptionally bright. Yeah, we'll see. There were a lot of RGB panels there. A lot of people were using like the light mats, and that way, I swear, there's one company, I forget the name of them. They had an RGBW, like a Fresnel, but interesting. They didn't do their mixing with saturation and hue. Yeah, Kyle, we're chatting about NAB. Their mixing of colors was like the most awkward thing ever, and they used like the optical. I'm trying to think of the name of the term. But, it's a dial that reads optically as you spin it. So if you spin it too fast, it just doesn't read. Alesis did this like 30 years ago in the music industry. Everyone hated it, but that's what they had. So their values were 0 to 255, and you had to sit there and go. Okay, blue is set. Now we'll go to green. That was horrible. I'm trying to remember the brand. I was supposed to go back over there Thursday, and they wanted to send one to me to try, but I said just change the way your software works so you can use hue and luminance and saturation and color temperature, and it just makes no sense. I don't understand. Kyle, do you have a good NAB? I know we didn't get to chat very long, about what, 10 minutes max. It was good to see you, of course. Yeah, it was. Kyle was in the red demo thing. Skip the light section way too many. Yeah, there's a ton of lights this year. Everybody's doing fabric lights now, and they're all pricing them exactly the same. I mean, it's like, I think it's like one Chinese company makes it now, a fabric light, and so everybody's doing them. Kyle met Graham, and we're talking about red ones. Yeah, the sky panels. The sky panels are beautiful. They really are. I've used an S60, and they're beautiful. And supposedly, that aperture is brighter than an S30. So, and the colors you get out of them are just spectacular. Is what I like, and it's the one thing. Nerded out over the R1. That's the one thing I don't like about the Hive. I mean, I like Hive lights and I use them all the time, but I can't get a blue. I can't get a green out of the Hives because they're using color mixing of 5 and 7 LEDs to get the colors rather than an actual RGB. And so it's like really hard to get certain colors out of them. I can get a lime, but I can't get a green. I would love, I like that look where it's just like pure blue beside the side of my face. Where were you at, Tyler? Yeah, the red phone is tough for me. I'm not buying one, not right now. Oh yeah, so the guy Tim that I was with, Kyle, he has 4 of them. I don't know why he has 4 of them, but he has a titanium one, he has a regular one, his girlfriend has one, he's got another one, I don't know. To me, they're just just a tiny bit. Oh, interesting. They really kind of look like the Cracker Jack 3D toys. There was only one picture. If I ever needed a camera, and he would hook me up. There you go. What was that guy's name? Remember? The red hydrogen. I can only see 3 different depths. There's a far, there's a medium, and there's an up close. I can't see any transition between them. I only see the 3. So when I watch anything on it, any picture, anything, there's a back, there's a middle, and there's a front, and there's nothing in between. That is not 3-dimensional. I mean, technically it is. It just, I don't think it's revolutionary right now. Maybe they'll improve it. Maybe it'll get better, and they're trying. Scott, I don't know him. Interesting. That's cool. Yeah, we shot with Monstro for the first time. Oh my God, dude, the Monstro is insanity. It is so good. It is so much more than I thought it was going to be. I mean, I love my Dragon. I really love my Dragon. Helium, I'm okay with. Gemini, I like, but Monstro is so good. The DXL. Did you get to keep the footage? Oh yeah, I've got the footage for it. I've got the footage from Monstro with the Orion Atlas 25mm and the Taquina Vista 1s. In fact, The footage that we shot with the Atlas Orion was the very first footage ever shot with the Atlas Orion 25. It's never been shot on before. So we have that footage. We sent some of it to them. We still got. I mean, we shot like 360 gig up there. To share the R3D, yeah, sure, absolutely. Um, it is. It is a phenomenal. And what was interesting to me is that I was looking at how crisp and clear and like noiseless this thing was, and the colors were beautiful. And then I looked, and it was set to 80% saturation because there's so much color in that camera. But it's like at 3200 ISO. It's clean. It is amazing. It is. Oh man, it is a beautiful camera. I have no idea how I'm going to afford one, but I'm going to work my way towards it. It is cool. It really was cool, and it eats through cards like you would. Like 22 minutes is all we get on a card with low compression. 512 gig cards. Oh yeah. Yeah, I'll share the monster footage or some R3Ds. It was really cool, and 8K, really just clear. Yeah, dude, Kyle, I'm telling you, if I had the ability, I guess I could just sell my house. If I had the ability, I would absolutely buy one. Yeah, well, there's always tomorrow to sell a project. I got a few I need to sell as well. Yeah, it was even even Tim Doust. Tim Doust owns a Gemini and a Helium, and he was absolutely blown away with Monstro. He just could not believe how good it looked, and it's so wide, it's so big. So that Orion 25 millimeter on full frame. Of course, we couldn't shoot it. We couldn't shoot it in 8K. We had to shoot it in 7K and a Morphic 2X. And that Orion, you could actually see just in the corners. You could actually start to see the lens itself start to appear there. It wasn't vignetting from like the house. Well, I guess technically it was a reverse vignette because the housing was silver. Move on to the next major camera, and then we can afford it. Yeah, 2 camera revisions before I can afford it. I will own a Monstro. It is beautiful. Did y'all see that Phil Holland did that shootout between the Alexa LF and the Monstro? It was really eye-opening. I could not believe what I was saying. And I will say this in fairness, the Alexa is still using like a 9-year-old sensor, so I get it. But at 1600 ISO, it was unusable. You couldn't clean that up good enough. At 3200, it was impossible. But the Monstro was 90% clean. I wouldn't say it's perfectly clean, but the Monstro at 3200 ISO was so good. And then on top of that, the Monstro had 4 additional stops of dynamic range that were clear over the Alexa. I don't understand the stigma that people, I don't want to shoot on a red. Yeah, just being silly. It's a damn fine camera. Damn fine. Plus all the HDRX stuff I've been shooting when I was doing time lapse out in national parks. So yeah, so filming in national parks, you got to have a permit. But you can do professional photography. You can sell your photos from national parks without a permit. So I time lapse in the national parks. Yeah, I'm just taking photos with my Dragon. It works out great. Then I get really nice, um, really nice compression ratio, nice long exposures. It's great. I'm really excited. I gotta chew through all that footage. Yeah, I'm gonna try that one next, Kyle. I had said that to somebody. I said, "Yeah, I'm just shooting photos, 23.98 of them per second." I mean, honestly, I get their purpose. Their purpose is somebody will come through there with like a 15-person crew and set up, a generator and panels and block everything and cause that. But if someone is just on a pair of sticks and they're just shooting, that should not require a permit. That's pure silly. And then with someone and you're allowed to photo without a permit, it's the same thing now. It's the same cameras. What's the deal? Makes no sense to me. Government trying to take everything. Oh yeah. Well, I'm glad the chat's working now. I don't know why it wouldn't show me the chat. I felt like I was talking to myself. Kyle, when did you leave NAB? I hear flutes. It was we left on. Well, I left Thursday afternoon. Tuesday evening. Wow, you were in there short. Tuesday was the B&H and Red Atomos party. That was a blast. Let's see. And Wednesday we shot with Monstro. I don't remember what I did Monday. Wow, that's occupational hazard. I left Thursday. Oh yeah, my gear was in Taquina booth. I went for 2 days in the process of listing our house and had to get back to. Yeah, that's true. Take some really nice HDR photos of your house. So you can. Portland's got a pretty good housing market. You probably sell it pretty quick, right? I went to Joshua Tree, and yeah, well, I hope to. We hung out at Tim's buddy's house. He lives right in Joshua Tree, and that was fun. Yeah, they apparently, back when the government was shut down, people went out to Joshua Tree to camp, and of course the parks were closed, so they went to the BLM land and just completely trashed it, like really badly. So they closed the BLM land now too. So it's really hard to go out to Joshua Tree. People are stupid sometimes. I swear. I don't know what it is. You got a beautiful flare coming down with the. This is where I could use a nice LUT. Let's see what I can do here. Ooh, brighten me up. Nope. Blush. That looks a little weird. Ooh, I like that. We'll just do that one. Get that nice sun glare going in there. Yeah, Joshua Tree is pretty nice. It was really cold and windy. I don't know what it was this trip. Everything was cold and windy. And then everything took way longer than it should have to get there. That's what happens when you rush. But this trip was this was not one of my adventures. This was Tim's adventure, and I was going along with him since I knew the area a lot and kind of helping him along the way. I would not have had the time frames that I had on there, so I would have spent more time. I'm going to go out next with the wife, take a whole week and just go somewhere. I don't know where yet, but with 2 people driving, I can get a lot further. And I think I'm going to do some, not storm chasing, but I'm going to go find some storms and shoot the storms. I love the way the storms look. The high top van is not exactly the best storm van, but it just wiggles around while the tornado's hitting you. It's no big deal. But I love the way storms are. I'm gonna have to I know that the red will do a continuous record, and then you can trigger it and it'll go back like pre-roll 4 seconds. Ooh, wow, the sound of a good storm. Oh, you're right. You are right on that. And I've had like daydreams of that. You know, you start with the clouds off in the distance, and you hear a little wind, just slight. And all of a sudden, you hear the thunder in the distance. Yeah, that'd be good sound design. Absolutely. Hey, Simon. Um, it. Yeah, I just think so romantic. Well, yeah, not really. I just think storms are cool. I want to capture that pre-roll so that I can basically not be recording everything. Classical music, interesting sound. Yeah, the I would do almost if I was going to put any music to it, I would do I don't know think like the Navajo, the music, just like that lone, almost like a pan flute, just all by itself. You just hear that, and then there's long pauses, and you hear thunder in the background. I don't know if you can hear me with all the wind. Yeah, I want to shoot some storms. I think it'll be fun. Ever since I caught lightning, I was like, ooh, I want to do that again. I want to catch that again. Shoot it at 100 frames a second so I can at least slow it down. Somebody's playing that flute over there. That's actually more European flute. All right, that's 36 minutes of live streaming. I need to prepare some stuff for tomorrow. Anybody got any questions real quick before I jump off? Got my batteries all charging up. Definitely don't have any sun. Hello, Jim Shields. Jim went with me on the first half of the trek up to NAB. Jim got to experience desert and snow, all kinds of stuff. We had a good time. He went to Arches with us and Canyonlands. I like Canyonlands a lot. I do think I want to go to Grand Canyon. What was your favorite shot on your road trip? Simon, for sure, favorite shot was the morning we left Yosemite. That morning I left Yosemite and the storms had just lifted and we're up there at Tunnel View. I posted a picture of it, and the clouds were, or the fog was rolling through the bottom, and there's clouds up top, and the winds blowing, and the waterfalls are flowing. Oh man, it was nice. Yeah, Canyonlands is pretty awesome, Jim. I have more love of it than Arches, for sure. Arches is getting ruined by people. Oh, Jim, you'll laugh. So I was telling Jim and Tim about all the national parks and how there's these busloads of Asians that come through. They could be from China or Korea. They basically fly in overseas and they get put on a bus and they come through. But they have like 10 minutes off the bus, so they run up and they take the picture and then they run back. But you get like visually assaulted by busloads of Asians, and I'm not saying that negatively. It's just reality. They drop a tour bus, and they come running up, and you're sitting there with a time lapse, and they come up right in front of it. They don't care. They give zero Fs. They just snap their pictures and they left. So that happened. Yeah, same thing. Oh, interesting. So I have been through Arches and Canyonlands. It was that whole time. The last time I was there was that way. There were not any at all. So I thought, I wonder if the national parks closed it down. When we got to Yosemite, it was full bore. There were so many everywhere. And then I had to go back home so I could get here. Tim went to Grand Canyon, and he said it was a full-on assault. There were like 3 tour buses. Oh, also Horseshoe Bend. So that's that big curve on the Colorado there before Grand Canyon, which has become like a tourist trap because every Instagram model is like, That has now, they've now built a new parking lot. They now charge $10 to park in it. And it's $170 for a tour bus. So they are definitely changing the attitude around there. He said the only way to get that Horseshoe Bend shot is he had a 14 millimeter right on the edge of, he has red right on the edge of the cliff. And he sent me several screen grabs. There's a hand in front of it with a camera, and just, I mean, they just run up, and it's wild. I guess that, you know, they only got so much time. They want to see all the national parks. All right, well, I'm going to jump out of here. So, yeah, all of y'all have an amazing and Hershey Bend National. It's not a national park. It is in national lands, I think. But they're treating it like they're treating it like a national park now. There's actually 2 sets of bathrooms and all kinds of stuff. So, yeah. All right, well, all y'all people be wonderful and good, and I appreciate you coming and hanging out with me. And, you know, it'll be Simon, remember what I told you? Let's do a trip, man. Seriously, next couple weeks, let's do it. Come on, let's do it. Get it all lined up. Let's go. Come on. Hasta luego, Jim. Yeah, so all y'all be good, and as I always like to leave it, don't let your passions center around your life. Let your life center around your passions. Don't tell him that. Don't tell him that, Jim. I think he